Hey guys, so ever since I was offered the job as the special education paraprofessional um, at the school, obviously, I have been asked by numerous people about, like, is there anything that I'm nervous about in regards to working in special education or in regards to my new job in general. And so I thought that I would address it here because I'm sure that some of you have also wondered the same thing. So here's my thoughts. If you guys didn't know, I have worked in, well, not necessarily special education, but I have worked with people who have had different types of disabilities and developmental disabilities and things of that nature. I have experience working with young men with autism, not necessarily like high school age or elementary school age, but these were young adults who were not in an educational setting, I will tell you that. When I worked like professionally with autistic young men, it was in a group home setting. And the only reason why I stopped working in the group home setting, I did not work there very long, is because the men that they placed me with were much larger than me, as far as like height wise, and they were also built very solidly. And so I didn't necessarily feel safe because some of them would get very aggressive and physically violent. And I felt like it wasn't safe for me or them because me being someone who is 5'3", even though, yes, I am overweight, me being 5'3", trying to restrain someone who is over 6 feet tall is not going to happen. That will not work no matter what I try to do. So that's why I stopped working at the group home. But I have kind of been involved in, I wouldn't necessarily call it special education, but I've been involved in caring for people with different forms of disabilities throughout my entire life. In high school, I babysat for someone who had cerebral palsy, and I've also worked with autistic people, like I said. I had a cousin through marriage who had Down syndrome, and I kind of helped take care of him from time to time. And so I'm not necessarily worried per se about working with people that have disabilities. I'm not necessarily worried about like not being able to handle it. The only thing that I'm really worried about, to be honest, is if I end up with someone who is super aggressive, or who has like violent behaviors, and me not knowing how to respond to them, because like I'm coming from a place where I'm used to working in the medical aspect of things, and now I'm having to position into like a educational sort of setting as opposed to medical. So while I do have medical certifications and medical training, that is not my job. I am there to help take care of the person in an educational way, to make sure that they're getting everything that they need in order to learn. So I think that's going to be the most difficult thing for me because, like I said, I'm so used to, ever since 2016, I've been working in a medical setting, other than my church secretary job. So I'm so used to the medical side of things that I think it's going to be most difficult for me to adjust to being in a non-medical educational type of setting. Now, like I said, I am concerned that I will end up being assigned to a student that is taller than me, because I could end up working anywhere from ECSE, which is early childhood special education, all the way to 12th grade. It just kind of depends on where they need me. I haven't gotten my assignment as far as like what classroom I'm going to be in, what student or group of students I'm going to be with. If I have a group of students or just one student, I don't know any of that yet. I haven't been given any of that. I will update you guys when I get that information, but as of right now, I don't have my assignment. I'm just worried that I'm going to end up with somebody who exhibits violent behaviors, is taller than me, is more solid than me, and like myself or them getting hurt because I can't respond in a way that is necessary. And at this time, I don't really think that there are students at the school that are that level of aggressive. I am used to dealing with aggression. Some of that comes from like working in a dementia memory care setting. I mean, I've been kicked in the chest. I've been bitten, scratched. It's a lot, but I think that has also kind of prepared me, hopefully, for what I'm going to see. I hope it's not that bad, but as far as I know, the students that are at the school currently aren't on that level. Like I said, I don't necessarily know that for sure, but from what I've heard talking to people who work at the school that I personally know, at this point in time, obviously there's a brand new school year, so people could still register or whatever, but at this point in time, they are unaware of people that get that aggressive. And I honestly would hope that they wouldn't put me as someone who is like a first year paraprofessional or instructional aide. I would hope that they wouldn't put me with someone that they didn't think that I could handle on my very first year. They do know that I have had extensive medical background. They do know, all the certifications I've had and what my education that I'm working towards currently is heading towards. But, I would just hope that they don't give me like someone who is super aggressive. That's really the only thing that I'm nervous about. Obviously there's those like new job jitters and all that stuff of like worrying about adjusting to a new job and a new role and a new setting and trying to make sure that you do everything the way that you're supposed to so that you can be successful in your new position. But other than that, like the only thing I worry about is, getting someone who is super aggressive or even getting a little child who tries to bite me all the time. Because I hate going into work and having pain because of my job. So yes, I know that people exhibit behaviors and I have pretty extensive experience dealing with or handling or engaging and like distracting and moving someone away from an aggressive, violent behavior, just dealing with memory care patients. But obviously it's different dealing with a child in an educational setting. So those are my concerns. If you guys have any other questions about my new position at the school, please let me know and I'd be glad to address your questions. I do plan on making a video if you guys are interested, talking about like the interview questions that they asked me during my interview for the Parapro job. And just to let you guys know, I'm using all these different titles like interchangeably because these are the same job basically. Paraprofessional, parapro, instructional aide. There's a few others out there. So if you guys have any other questions about like the job itself, what it entails, what my job duties are, things like that, please let me know. I'd be glad to address it for you in a future video. And with that being said, I will see you guys next time.